This is verse 28 of the 18th chapter of the Gospel of John. We've just seen the drama of Jesus being led away from Annas to Caiaphas. In the meantime, out in the courtyard, of course, we've been looking at the moment in which Peter denies Christ multiple times, and just as he does it the last time, we hear that the rooster crowed, which was precisely what Jesus had predicted and anticipated, and we can imagine what went through Peter's subjective experience. But now we return to the discussion of Jesus. We have agusen from ago, I lead, third person plural, present active indicative, so they lead. The postpositive un, therefore they lead. Ton Yesun, using the article, which is idiomatically common in Greek, so they lead away the Jesus. It's the direct object, so it's in the accusative singular. Apo, preposition, takes the genitive here, means from, so from, and then in the genitive, to, again the definite article with Caiapha. Caiapha is the proper name Caiaphas. It's in the genitive here, so they lead Jesus from Caiaphas, and then they lead to, the preposition takes the accusative, ace. Here's the accusative article in the neuter singular, ace to praetorion. You recognize praetorium here. It meant the official meeting place. It's usually translated judgment hall or something like that. The Praetorian Guard, of course, are associated with that same name. So they lead Jesus away from Caiaphas. We don't hear anything about the details of Jesus meeting with Caiaphas. That's covered comprehensively in the synoptics, and John is really trying to fill in additional detail here rather than simply repeating what was in the synoptics. So we are left with Jesus now being brought to the praetorium, and then this little additional note, ein. This is the third person singular, imperfect active indicative of eimi, I am, so it was, and then de, the postpositive, but it was proi, it was early is the meaning of that indeclinable adverb. It was early. Kai, the connective, autoi. This is from autos, third person pronoun, masculine, plural. It's in the nominative. It, in that case, usually is intensive, and that's the sense here. So they themselves. Uk, the negation. Ace eilthon, from ace erchomai, I enter. This is the third person plural. Aorist active indicative, meaning they did not enter. They themselves did not enter. Referring to the religious brass here who had been responsible for this so far. They themselves did not enter. Ace to praetorion, same phrase we have here. They did not enter into the place of judgment or the judgment area. And the reason for that is given here. So we have hina, which takes the subjunctive. Two subjunctive verbs go along with hina. One is mianthosen and one is phagosen. Mianthosen is from miano. It means to defile, especially in a ceremonial way. So in order that they might not become defiled, this is the aorist passive subjunctive. So they did not enter into the praetorian because they didn't want to become defiled ceremonially. And then the strong conjunction but phagosen from estheo, it's irregularly formed. This is again the subjunctive, aorist, third person plural, aorist, active subjunctive, in order that they might eat. To pascha, the paschal lamb, in order that they could participate in the Passover. So Jesus being led here, of course, to Pontius Pilate. We've left behind the story of Peter at this point. The religious leaders, of course, committing one of the most heinous crimes in the history of the human race, are nevertheless trying to avoid any kind of ceremonial defilement in the process. And they hang outside the praetorium, waiting for an opportunity to have a hearing with Pilate.